Good afternoon. Welcome back to Oneida Live here on the Oneida Nation Reservation in Wisconsin. I'm Bobby Webster. I'm the PR director for the Oneida Nation, and today is Tuesday, November 4th. In some places, it's election day, but we have no election here on the Oneida Nation. But all over the state, there may be a few offices open, so it's important that you exercise your right to vote and get out and vote. If that's what you need to do today, take the time to do it. All right, we have a couple of guests from our Oneida Retail Division, more commonly known as our Oneida One Stop, one of our oldest businesses on the reservation, one of the most successful businesses that we have on the reservation as well. So with us today, we have Phil Wisniewski, who is the Communications Strategic Manager. We also have with us Taylor Aldenhoven, who is the Category Manager for Oneida One Stops. So we're going to ask them to give us a little update, what's happening with the One Stops, what do we need to look forward to this winter, and some of the things you're getting ready to move into.
Sure. Go for it, Taylor. Let's talk about the app.
Oh, you're right.
Jump right in.
Well, as you may know, we have the Oneida Loyalty mobile app up and running. We're still learning to walk a little bit ourselves here, but in the future, near future, we can expect to have some more personalized offers come in. So what the app does for us is that it gives us a better look into the data, into what we can offer. So that means you might get a different offer than I will, or Phil. So we'll be able to have some of those personalized offers coming out soon.
Because I spend more money, or just randomly?
Yeah, well, that could be one piece of it,
Mm-hmm.
but there's multiple things that we'll be able to look at, and then be able to come up with some personalized offers for everyone.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah,
Something new.
It is. And then we also just want to remind everybody some new things that we're doing with hot food at our stores. As we all know, we've carried Simone's burritos for a long time on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Those are still available Tuesdays and Thursdays at our 4-Pass Shell and Highway 54. And then we've also expanded that to our Larson Road location as well, over at the intersection of Larson and Packerland. We've got those there still. But then we also have partnered with Off the Trail as well,
Oh,
a local restaurant owned by some Oneida entrepreneurs. So we've got their burritos as well on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So that's something new that we're bringing in as well. Those have been there for a few months now. We're also going to look at introducing some of their breakfast sandwiches too, coming up shortly. So might have a trial run. We're trying to shoot for Thursday with that, a trial run with those sandwiches. So we're going to see how those go. And then, we're looking always to do better with our hot food. We know that's what people want in the community. So we responded with those, and we're going to keep looking at ways to have more offerings, more selections for our customers.
Are we still going to be offering the things from the cannery, like the cornbread and things like that? I know I haven't seen it on the shelves lately.
Yeah, we still offer those, and those are as available products.
Okay.
We understand, we know there's a lot of demand for those products in the area, but unfortunately, we can only get what we are supplied with.
Okay.
And that's all depends on the yearly harvest the year before that Junhinqua does, and the local farmers can do for the white corn products. Get those produced for us, and then get those on the shelves.
Okay, now Taylor, you mentioned the mobile apps and some of the things that are available to individuals. Since you've initiated the mobile app service, have you noticed an increase in people using it? Is there something they use it most for? Take it off of gas, off a product? Are you tracking those kinds of things?
Yeah, I mean, right now the mix is pretty even. So there's no clear leader right now. I mean, it's still pretty early as everyone continues to learn how to use the app and use their rewards. Then that'll become more clear to us. But right now, we're just kind of in the gathering and learning phase.
Okay.
So.
Well, I know they asked me, and I think it's great that when I go in there, the cashier because I honestly would not remember. I'm just in there to pay, get out of my way, and did you put this in there? And they're so friendly, and they work through the whole process of initiating that, right from the very beginning. So I hope it becomes a broader program and that it gets a lot more use. Like I said, I'm glad that they remind us.
Yeah.
Also, something that I've noticed in other stores, not just convenience stores, but grocery stores everywhere, department stores, self-service checkout. Now that's something we do not have. Is that anything that we might be looking at down the road?
Yeah, it certainly is. We actually do have a self-service checkout in-house, not at any of the stores yet. We do have one. We're looking to figure out, look at, research which store it would work best at as a pilot program. Because we've seen it in other stores as well. We've seen, local grocery stores have it. Now we've seen almost like a pushback on it, though, where some stores are taking them out just because they've dealt with, issues with theft and stuff like that. But we're not too concerned about that. So we're looking at figuring out which store we're going to pilot it in. We do have one self-checkout. So we're trying to determine which location we're going to put that at. So yeah, that's something coming in the future.
Well, we have a higher level of security and oversight, cameras and things like that, I'm assuming is that going to be more conducive to having less drive-offs and things like that and less theft?
Yeah, definitely. Drive-offs, we don't rarely have any anymore due to we have people prepay now. So they've got to come in before the pump can even be activated now. So drive-offs have gone down to nearly zero, if zero at every store, so which is nice.
As a result of that, have we noticed any significant increase in our sales because nobody's driving off anymore? Or are they just going in and driving off at other stations?
No, what we're seeing is sales have stayed level just because of the gas prices have stayed down.
Okay.
So what happens is, we may be selling more fuel, but it's at a less cost. So technically, the sales are probably they're not trending way up, but they're going up at our locations. So it's nice to see.
Is tobacco still one of your leading products in terms of sales?
Oh yeah, by far. So it's a bit of a melting ice cube, but it's a really, really big ice cube. So it's our number one category by far, and we're way far and above the industry when it comes to tobacco sales. I've done estimates before, and we sell as much tobacco as over about 180 Quick Trips. So that's how much our 10 locations do. So,
Wow,
yeah.
That's very impressive. Now, I don't see much marketing of tobacco anywhere, just because of the health focus. So are we sort of tried and true in the area? People know where to go for sales because we don't market too much. Is there not a need to market?
Well, when it comes to marketing tobacco, it's a challenge just because
Right.
you can't have a large billboard, let's say, because the federal government regulates the size of the advertisements and where they can be placed. So we can't just put a thing online saying, hey, we have the lowest tobacco, because it could possibly get in front of those underage consumers. So it's really a challenging thing, and thankfully our price-driven strategy has shown to work as far as getting the word out there. People talk, and thankfully we've relied on that. And
We don't have to fix something that's not broken.
right.
Yeah, all right. So also the potential for cannabis sales. Now we know that a lot of people from Wisconsin drive up to Michigan. It's, 30, 40 minutes, depending on where you are. A lot of people go up there for the cannabis sales. Is there a potential, it seems like it's going to be imminent in the state of Wisconsin. And I know I've heard tribal members make comments about, are we ready for it? Can we handle it? We better be ready to jump on the gun, and we're sovereign and we should be able to do this and that. Where are we in terms of being ready to embrace those kinds of sales?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we just need that approval. We still report to the committee, the business committee in the law office and everything like that. So we've got to get that approval to go ahead and be prepared to do that. And once we're there, then we can be ready. Yeah, for sure.
So is it adding a few tabs on our cash registers and inventory, or is it that easy?
Well, not necessarily that easy, but I think we've got to do the homework, like you said. Make sure we're ready, make sure we're prepared to do that. But we just got to get that approval from those that we report to first, and then we can take advantage of that.
So if Wisconsin passes it and the business committee says, we got it, we're ready to go, start selling?
Yep, we'll do that.
Okay. All right. Exciting. Not that I'm a cannabis user, but I know it's a lot of more than
Sure.
just, marketing high. It's about pain management and
Certainly.
all these other things. So it's a pretty broad market out there for that. What are your best performing locations?
Let me go that one.
Yeah, that would be Westwind between Walmart and Festival there, and then Larson location would be our number 2. So those would be our best locations.
Now, just because I live out here, I would have thought it was 54 because it's our first one and it's the most easily in and out, on and off. But it is Westwind.
Yeah,
Oh,
and that's primarily due to that cigarette sales that we talked about a little bit. When it comes to convenience, now you're looking at 54.
right.
So we sell a lot of candy, chips, snacks out there.
Uh-huh.
That'll be our number 1 store for those items.
So Westwind, that's one right within Festival.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so if I'm going shopping, I'm picking up my groceries, I'm going to get my cigarettes and my stuff at
Yeah.
Walmart. So that's and that's the place they're going to go for gas, perhaps, and
Yeah.
cigarettes.
Yeah, and it's also the closest location, Highway 41 too.
Yep.
So being that access to Highway
yeah,
41 off the freeway,
Okay.
that's another major player in that situation.
So when I'm heading up north, I'm going to stop off, or when I'm coming back, I'm going to stop off
Right.
easy
Yep.
on. Okay. What do you think is the best thing about our Oneida One Stops?
I think it's the people. I think it's from everybody from the frontline staff, the cashiers, to the store managers, to administration. I think we've got a great team. Like I said, not like I said, but what we were going to talk about, we've got 100 employees about-ish, around 100. So that includes, the frontline associates, store managers, like I said, but just the people, like we've talked about a little bit before we started was, everyone's just really friendly, really nice. When you go in, a lot of people they'll know you by name. I don't think you get that in a lot of the other convenience stores that you may go into. So it's real personable, and then obviously, my thoughts are is that we're really clean. The stores are really
They
clean.
are, yep.
The bathrooms are clean for the most part, and I think our staff does a great job of doing that and keeping those facilities looking great, and picking up outside, doing what they can do when they can. So yeah, that's my opinion.
Anything to add,
What do
Taylor?
you think, Taylor?
No, I have to agree. For sure, the people. I mean, when you come into a One Stop, there's a good chance you're coming out laughing. I mean,
I like that.
our cashiers are spreading good medicine through humor in a lot of ways all the time. So I think that's one of the best parts about going to the One Stop.
I love that. Spreading good medicine. They are. You're absolutely right. So what changes are on the horizon? Anything new or different that we're looking at seeing soon, or in the maybe during the winter?
Well, I think one thing we were exploring was offering, expanding our food service. So I'm not sure how soon that's going to be, but it's evident in the fact that we're trying out these new sandwiches with Off the Trail. One thing that's hard to do, as you mentioned, One Stops are some of the oldest businesses around. So when you have a food service program, it requires a food kitchen, right?
Okay,
One that's
right.
certified. So that's been a challenge for us. It's no small cost to make a food kitchen, right, at all of our
renovate.
One Stops, right? So, but we recognize that the need is there. Customers want, hot, ready food, but we plan on meeting that in different ways. So,
All right. Got a couple of questions online here. Are there going to be any vape products in the stores?
yes, we currently have all the FDA authorized vapes available in our One Stops, and there's a Wisconsin registered list of approved vapes, and we just got one of the new ones on there last Friday. So we do have expanded offerings there to meet that demand.
All right. Can I get my state tax exemption on gas without downloading an app?
Yes, you can. You can go online and register, and you don't need to download the app at that point. Once you're registered, you can just simply go in and use your phone number every time.
But the app helps my tribe, right?
It sure does.
And how does it help my tribe?
Well, like I mentioned before, it helps us make decisions, right? So it'll help us determine where we need to invest. Right? We want to be smart with our dollars and make data-informed decisions. And part of using the app helps us do that. You know, you're voting with your dollar, and by using the app, you know, that gives us some insight into what our tribal customers and, you know, non-tribal customers prefer.
Okay, thank you. In regard to going into cannabis sales, there's a question, wouldn't we need a dispensary? And are we, I guess, doing our homework? But if we're a tribe, we regulate it. We don't need to call it a dispensary or anything like that. We determine how and what we sell once it's legal in the state. And I know none of us here are attorneys,
Nope.
but I know we would be ready to sell.
Correct.
Okay. What about edibles? Well, we'll sell whatever's legal. Okay. Let's see. And just for those of us who aren't real familiar with the Oneida One Stops, can you give us a little bit about your statistics, how many stores you have, how many employees, your locations, et cetera? If we do alcohol sales at all of them, and just tell us a little bit about the whole.
Yeah, we've got 10 stores total. 7 of those are convenience stores. And then we've got 6 that are branded mobile and 1 that is branded Shell. And then, like I mentioned earlier, we have a little over 100 employees at our stores. And all of our stores are located currently on the reservation. So we're all, we've got, you know, a location right across the road here from Norbert Hill Center, Highway 54. Our farthest one out west would be Pulaski, right off of Highway 29. And then we have 3 or 4 stores within the city of Green Bay that are just on the eastern edge of the reservation.
Okay, I think making our milk, butter, and other necessities more reasonable. Well, we know that there's not a big market for those kinds of products, but can you tell us why perhaps those are such high-priced items?
Well, I know for a while we've been selling eggs at cost, and even more so now, we don't have much of a margin on those items. So if they're coming in at a high cost to the customer, then we're purchasing them at a high cost, and that's just the way, the nature of the business right now. So.
You pay for the convenience.
Yep.
That's exactly what convenience means. Is it's there. You don't have to run to town. You know. Yeah, I get it. I know it's a little more expensive, but it's either I get it right away or I have to go to Green Bay or go. You know, take 5-8 mile trip down the road. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to share that I haven't asked about?
Yeah, I just got a couple of quick things. Just want to let everybody know that we've partnered with the Oneida Social Services and their Giving Tree. So we're going to have donation boxes at all of our locations. So all 10 locations will have donation boxes for those gifts and toys for those kids in our community. We wanted to let everybody know that if they could bring in a new toy, new clothing, things like that, that could be a gift for a young family, young children, also the older kids. I think that's one of the things that people forget is those teenagers, you know, they often get overlooked when it comes to this type of thing when, you know, they're getting gifts and stuff to give for charity, things like that. Another thing is we've got our Veterans Days coming up next week, Tuesday. So all veterans can come into any Oneida One Stop, get a free coffee or fountain soda as well, so they can stop in, let us know you're a veteran, and then you can get your free beverage on that day, on Tuesday.
Anything else, Taylor?
Nope, I think that's it.
Well, we do want to thank you for coming in. The Oneida One Stops is one of the oldest businesses that the Oneida Nation has had, one of the most successful. We not only sell products and have discount gas for tax-free gas for our enrolled tribal members, but it's also fully staffed by enrolled Oneida employees.
Yep.
So that's something that, you know, we need to sustain that employment group and make sure that we have enough Oneidas, because it became a little close there for a while, but we have all Oneida employees and they're happy to see you come in, and think you guys are doing a great job. Great
Thank you.
job.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You're
Appreciate it.
welcome. Anything else?
All good.
All right. Then we'll see you on Thursday. Yawanko, Nungiwa.